Welcome to our weekly Science and Technology conference call. The next 30 minutes or so is presented by Manatech Incorporated, a 14-year-old nutritional research and development company in Coppell, Texas. Now, the purpose of this regular conference call is to allow men and women from science and technology to share their discovery and knowledge of micronutrients, dietary micronutrients, specifically the 8 bioactive saccharides required for cell-to-cell communication. Good evening. My name is Rick Deneff. It's my distinct honor to host tonight's guest, Dr. Steve Nugent. Dr. Nugent is medical director of complementary medicine for Manatech. He's earned 6 degrees, graduating with honors in both undergraduate and graduate levels. He completed 2 doctoral programs, naturopathic medicine and a PhD in psychology. He built a highly successful clinical practice and is well known for his radio broadcast tapes, old productions, and I know him well from the lecture circuit. Dr. Nugent is an expert in the therapeutic use of dietary supplements. I particularly remember in August of 1996, just 12 years ago, I heard his voice from the podium as he introduced the world's first and only glyconutrient complex, Ambertose. Welcome, Dr. Nugent.
Well, thanks, Rick. It's good to be here.
It's really good to have you. Tonight, let's talk a little bit about what you should be looking for when you choose a dietary supplement or a business opportunity centered around wellness. Dr. Nugent, you say science is the most important factor. How do we know what is valid and what isn't?
Well, it is the most important factor as far as I'm concerned, Rick. And, of course, most doctors have no problem differentiating between science and implication. But many consumers do have difficulty with that. And so it's helpful, even for doctors, to hear some of this information to help them know how they can quickly and easily explain this to their consumers that they're recommending Manatech products to. Now, it starts, of course, with objective third-party validation. And most of the stuff out there is a lot of smoke and mirrors. A lot of it's pretty clever, but not good science. And the example here is that, the general public is not well educated in science and scientific method. And what most companies will do, rather than doing good third-party scientific validation on their products, what they'll do is they'll print information or post information on their websites about individual ingredients that have been studied that may be used in their products. But what they're not doing, in almost every case, is posting real science about their products. And there's a big difference here, because in nutritional biochemistry, A plus B does not always lead to C. There are so many variables within the human body when you ingest any kind of nutritional substance that you can't go by individual ingredient studies. And almost every company in the industry does that because they don't need to do, by law, they don't need to do individual studies on their products. And so why spend the money? They just don't bother with it. And they'll say, well, for our product, we have 10 ingredients in this product, and each of these ingredients has been well studied. And of course, the consumer looks at this and says, wow, there's a lot of science here. But in fact, there's no science, because there's no science unless there's a study on the product that the individual is considering the consumption of. And that's important. And I'll give you an example of something that Manatech has done. In the industry in general, when it comes to antioxidants, the industry standard is something called ORAC-FL. ORAC stands for Oxygen Radical Absorption Capacity, or the capacity of any substance to help neutralize potentially harmful free radicals. Now, the FL stands for fluorescent. It's a very, very inexpensive and easy test to do, but it's not a very accurate test. Still, it's the industry standard, and as long as every company is doing this very poor, very low standard of science, well, then no big deal. It's sort of an equal playing field. But then Manatech comes along and does it the right way, and that is using a blood test. Well, that would be serum ORAC. Well, here's the difference. You see, ORAC-FL is not accurate for determining the functions the real functions, the real results of any kind of antioxidant to begin with, and it's not accurate on both fat-soluble and water-soluble antioxidants. Where the rubber meets the road is in your blood. That's where it counts. So what Manitech did with their antioxidant product is they did a human clinical trial, and they used serum ORAC as their standard, the same as the U.S. Department of Agriculture has done to establish certain standards with antioxidants from foods. And they found real results, real science. And so when you see those antioxidant products out there, and, you know, even doctors fall prey to this, Rick, where they say, oh, well, you know, the ABC company says that their product is 80,000 ORAC protection units per bottle. Well, it's very interesting, except by what standard? By ORAC FL? Or was it actually tested in human blood? And, of course, when you ask that question, the response is going to be a disappointing one for all the companies I've looked at so far, with the exception of Manitech. So science is where it needs to start. If there isn't really good, hardcore science behind the products to begin with, there is no point in considering the company at all, or any of the products that they have, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, very revealing. But what about quality control?
Quality control, this is often misunderstood. Quality control is something that every company has to do. That's by law. And it's minimal stuff. You know, there's a certificate of analysis that's made up on every product that says there's X amount of milligrams or micrograms of this, and that in the formula. Quality control is also, you know, are the tablets intact? Is the bottle sealed properly? That's quality control. Quality assurance is something different, though.
Well, how does that differ from quality assurance?
Quality assurance, that's what really counts. Because in quality assurance, now, this is above and beyond. And this means that the quality assurance team, hopefully having a real quality assurance lab, not just something on paper that says they care about quality, but a real lab where they have checked out to see if the ingredients and the supplement itself are clean and safe and effective as advertised, as well as establishing standards for shelf life and storage. Very important. And the quality assurance program at Manitech starts with raw ingredients. It starts right at the beginning. In fact, just to give you a couple of quick examples, one of our former quality assurance vice presidents, I know that she actually went to raw material suppliers, physically inspected the suppliers, the ingredients on the spot, their facilities on the spot, and then went to the next step, the manufacturing facility. Well, all manufacturing facilities have to have a certain standard of quality, but she wanted to take it above and beyond, because with Manitech, we're always above and beyond when it comes to quality. We have been from the beginning. We've been above the industry standards from the beginning. And she will do things like going out and measure for air quality in the room where the supplements are being manufactured. At one of our manufacturers who wanted the initial contract to manufacture our flagship product, Ambertose, she actually made them change out the ventilation systems. And, I mean, she really put them through their hoops. She said she didn't want any amount of particulate matter coming through the ventilation systems and mixing with our Ambertose. I mean, that's how strict it is. Our facility where our enzymes are manufactured, they are monitoring the air quality to an incredible degree. It's like a clean room environment. It's absolutely amazing. So quality assurance at Manitech is pretty amazing, and it is, as I say, above and beyond, and has been for many, many years.
That's good to hear, Dr. Nugent. Now, some supplement companies really push the warm, fuzzy stories, the anecdotal or the testimonials. How do you feel about that?
Well, you know, everybody loves testimonials. I love testimonials. I mean, they're motivating. Sometimes they're exciting. Sometimes they're tear-jerking. But they're not always true. That's the problem. It's not that people are deliberately trying to mislead, although that happens on occasion. But rather, the average person doesn't have the scientific knowledge to understand exactly what occurred. So, as an example, let's say that someone has a deficiency of vitamin A, and then they take any product. It doesn't matter what the product is, where the product comes from. They take any product that contains vitamin A. They had a vitamin A deficiency. Now they don't have a vitamin A deficiency, so they feel better. And then they give a testimonial about how this product was so magical and powerful and fantastic. And they don't really understand what occurred anyway. And of course, sometimes with the testimonials, they have improved, their health has improved, but it's had nothing to do with the product. It was some other conditions that went on. So testimonials are very interesting. They're very motivating. In fact, I think they have propelled the industry more than anything else. But scientists disregard testimonials because of the factors that I've just talked about. For a scientist, you need science. It's got to be something that you can really test, really verify. It's got to be not only testable, but repeatable, consistently repeatable, so that you know that any change that has occurred has truly occurred from the substance that you've tested, and that it is in fact doing exactly what you say it will do. So testimonials are good, but if a company is existing only on testimonials, no matter how exciting they are, no matter how moving and motivational they are, I just wouldn't bother with them, Rick.
Well, I've heard you say many times that product patents are important. And that's particularly for the person considering a business opportunity. Why, Dr. Steve, are patents so important?
Patents are crucially important, and really for two reasons. There is the scientific side of it, and there's also the business side of it. Let's do the scientific side first. In order to get a patent in nutrition, it's very, very different than obtaining a patent for, say, mechanical things or electrical things. It's very, very different. And in nutrition, your technology has to be new and unobvious. That's actually a word, unobvious. New and unobvious. And this means that no one else has not only ever done it before, no one else has even ever thought of it before. Well, you know, there are thousands of nutrition companies. In fact, in the United States, almost 5,000 nutrition companies. Worldwide, thousands more nutrition companies. And that equates to tens of thousands of nutritional products. In the United States, there are only a handful of manufacturing facilities. In fact, there's one facility that I have visited on a number of occasions on the East Coast. It's almost, in fact, it was hard for me to keep from laughing as I walked through their warehouse one day, because almost every product that you can possibly imagine that claims to be unique and special is all being manufactured in this same place with the same stuff. It's quite amusing, really. Well, this has to be something that no one else has done before, or it can't qualify for the patent application, let alone patent approval. And this is important because there are so many products out there, many of which are helpful, supportive, many of which are actually good for you. But are they different? Are they different enough to justify the cost? And in most cases, the answer is no. Well, the other aspect of this in terms of obtaining the patent is the fact that you have to submit with your patent application the science that you say makes your product new and unobvious. And you have to demonstrate in your application how it does what you claim it does. Now, if your science is valid, when the patent examiners check this out, then they say, all right, patent issued. Your science is valid. This is new and unobvious. You are unique, and this does what you claim it does on your patent. So here's your patent. Now, that by itself is a huge, powerful validation from my perspective for any product if you've received a patent in the nutritional industry. And then, of course, on the business side, this should be kind of common sense. Since the majority of products in the industry, and I mean overwhelming majority of products, are not patentable, they are simply what are called Me Too products. That means anyone can make them. Well, why in the world would someone spend their time and effort and put their personal reputation on the line to sell a product to someone else that anyone else can make a copy of? This is a problem if you're building a business, because that means you have no security. And in terms of reputation, why would a doctor, why would any healthcare practitioner want to put their reputation on the line with something that's just an ordinary Me Too product that anyone else can make? What would be the point of that? Well, it happens that with Manitech, our flagship product, Ambertos, has more than 40 patents related to the initial technology worldwide. And we recently won a court case where, it was a powerful, powerful statement, because not only did Manitech prevail in the court case against a company that was infringing on the Ambertos patent, not only did we get a verdict in our favor, but that company was ordered to cease manufacturing the product and surrender all of that product to us for destruction. Now that sends a very strong message that you better not try to infringe on Manitech's patent, because you will lose in a big way. Now that tells me that this is a very strong business opportunity. And Manitech, as I mentioned, has many patents, so it isn't just one. And this is very strong for the business builder as well as the healthcare practitioner, because that makes the healthcare practitioner look a lot better too, because he or she is endorsing something which is new and unobvious and valid as a product.
Well, it seems that patents and proprietary formulas are required for residual income, and anyone getting involved with nutrition products today in the direct sales and network marketing field would want to feel that confidence that you're talking about. Would you please tell us what you think shows that a company is strong enough to last the term?
Well, the first thing, Rick, would be time, just simply time. Approximately 96% of all nutrition companies fail in their first 4 years of business, no matter how exciting they are initially, no matter what kind of hype they have when they open up. Most of them fail in less than 4 years. Manitech's been in business for more than 14 years. Now that's a big step right there. Another thing is, if the company is a public company, and Manitech is a public company, are they debt-free? How do they manage their debt? Because that reflects on your long-term survival of the company. Manitech is debt-free, and there aren't too many public companies who can say that. And then, of course, there is third-party ratings by experts in the industry. And Manitech has some really outstanding, very powerful ones. In fact, Manitech was ranked 6th in the top 10 hot growth companies by Businessweek magazine on June 6th of 2005. And Forbes magazine, and Forbes is like sort of the JAMA, if you will, the Journal of the American Medical Association of the financial world. Forbes is so highly respected. And Forbes magazine did a review of the 200 best small companies. A small company is a corporation with 500 or fewer employees, and we've got about 400 at Manitech. So in a review of these 200 best small companies in the United States on October 30th, 2006, they said Manitech was number 5. That's huge. And in 2007, June of 2007, Manitech was ranked 12th in the top 100 small companies for hot growth by Businessweek magazine. So clearly there's very strong third-party validations for Manitech as a strong company, a company that can last. Manitech has solid science, solid validation, quality that has been exceeding industry standards for years, patents worldwide, no smoke and mirrors, and it is rated as one of the strongest in the industry by third-party evaluation. That's why I'm here, Rick, because Manitech is an exceptional company, and it's offering exceptional opportunities for both health and wealth worldwide.
Well, Doctor, thank you for your discriminating insight. Your time is much appreciated here. Hope to have you back soon. And I really do appreciate your informing us specifically on the facts that you presented here today. In the last 14 years, I've personally witnessed thousands of people getting outstanding benefits from this scientific supplementation, and I suggest that you, the listener, take a closer look by calling the person who invited you to this interview. Now, please ask for more information. You'll soon develop a real enthusiasm for integrating glyconutrients into a wellness practice and a healthy lifestyle. Thank you, Dr. Steve.
Oh, you're welcome, Rick. Thanks for having me on the call.